Yo, what's going on, guys? Strange here, and welcome back to another Division YouTube video. This one's gonna be a different one, a little quick one today. So today, the Division tweeted out that the next season that is going to be reran is actually not going to be season 2. It's going to be season 6. Concealed Agenda. I believe it's season 6, so don't hold me to that. It's gonna begin next week. So right now, the game is just kind of in like a little dry content state. I mean, reruns are kind of dry, but there's a lot of exotics to get from next season, so definitely think it's a season you should check out. Obviously, kind of like how it worked last season, if you bought the season pass from the original run of the season, you do not need to buy the season pass again. So, if you bought Concealed Agenda season pass, you're going to have the premium track allocated to you, so that you can start earning rewards. There's not much of a difference this season. We can actually see the season rewards. We can't see the events coming, but we already know what they are. So definitely do every single one if you want as many exotics as you want, and you actually get a lot of optimization caches. So I definitely think that it's going to be a very good way of getting resources as quickly as possible. So definitely do as many of these as you can. Obviously, if you were a veteran with the division, you already know. If you're new to the division and you finished Warlords in New York, take part in these as much as you can. There's an exotic cache to be rewarded at the end, as well as recalibration stuff, optimization gear, all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely worth doing these events and leagues. So going on to the reward track for Concealed Agenda. So the track that I really care about really the most is the free track, because it actually is really, really good, especially with these reruns. You get a lot of these pieces, and that's really what you get. You get a lot of named items too, and a lot of blueprints. Whereas the paid track, really, you don't get much, especially in these reruns. You get a lot of optimization caches, so that's actually worth it in itself. You get a lot of these apparel cache keys that I feel like kind of build up over time, and it kind of just becomes a pain, especially if you have everything unlocked. And obviously, if you don't have Ridgeway's Pride, actually I do recommend buying the season pass, because you get those keys and you don't need to run on the underground grabbing all those boxes, because that's a bit of a pain. But there's a few focus points I want to look at with the season pass. Obviously, all these armor pieces are really great to get. There's a couple named items I think is really going to be good. I 100% recommend getting the mop. The mop's a great gun. I use it all the time in my builds, especially my most recent one. You should go check that out. Second most recent video right below this one, so go take a look. But it's very good for scale builds. I recommend it a lot. You also get a lot of skins, so if you're into that, buy the season pass. You also get Liquid Engineer. It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. It's definitely something you can make builds around and put it into your main focus. So I definitely recommend going out and getting that. You also get a 6.6 blueprint, which is actually a really good shotgun. So if you want to make a shotgun build, go ahead and pick this up. You do get exotic cache if you buy the premium one at level 45. So it's definitely worth doing. But I mean, it's only $10, so I mean, you might as well get it anyway. But you do get 3 exotic caches then overall, because as you'll see in a little bit, there is actually 2 more exotic caches near the end of the season pass. So our first exotic that you're actually going to get that's not part of a cache is the BackFire submachine gun. Now, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I used it. The more damage you do, it builds up your critical hit. When you reload, you get bleed. It might not sound the best, but if you can put together a DPS build with some type of status effect, this gun becomes incredible, especially if you pair it with Ridgeway's Pride. I also do have a video on that if you guys want to go check it out. I don't mean to plug myself that much, but I do have a video on it, and it's a really, really nasty build. It's a couple videos down. It's I think it's my most recent one before I came back. So definitely check it out. This gun is insane, and it's probably in my top 5 exotics in the entire game. I might do a tier list on that. Probably sometime next week, actually. When I think about it. Obviously, you're going to get all of these manhunts unlocked as we progress through the season. If you unlocked them last season, you're not going to need to worry about it because you permanently unlocked it then. But if you do not, I recommend going ahead and leveling up. Try to get the Fate Law is a really fun one. You get entirety of Camp White Oak again. So as we move on, obviously you get the Barton Schaefer one, but that unlocks when playing the season, so it's not much different there. We get to level 90, where you get the Memento Backpack. Now, obviously, as you guys know, you can earn these rewards normally, through drops, all that, but you get a free one by doing the Season Pass, so I'm going to be grinding the Season Pass, so I think you guys should too. Memento is another one of those exotics in the top 5. I think this is honestly like an S tier level exotic. It's good for any build, a tank. Well, I don't know if a tank actually, but it's good for a skill. It's good for a damage build. It's a must-have exotic. You need to go after this. I can't recommend this exotic enough. And then finally at level 95, you actually do get 2 exotics by the Season Pass. That is just awesome. You get 3 exotic caches from this entire Season Pass, so I definitely recommend getting it. And then you get Concealed Agenda Hero and Allspice Mask. So overall, I think the season is going to be really enjoyable to do. Obviously, we got 2 great exotics in the Season Pass, so definitely go ahead and get those. I am a little upset they decided to go with Season 6, Concealed Agenda, instead of for Keener's Legacy, Season 2. Just because I wanted the Moth Charm, but, it is what it is. Maybe they'll bring back the League event that was associated with the Moth Charm, since I missed it on the PS4 account. And it's probably my favorite charm in the game. So, obviously with the Manhunt, we're going to have Barton Schaefer, as you know, as well as his 4 rogue agents. And they're a relatively easy bunch. Barton Schaefer's mission is probably the most fun because you get that Hunter to fight. And the Hunter does appear for these 4 as well. So this is probably the most fun season we've had Manhunt-wise. But overall, I think this season's going to be really, really fun for a rerun. It's going to be a nice little content gap, because after this, we were going to get the final season with Fei Lao as a rerun, and we'll cover that when that time comes around. So I want to thank you guys for coming out to this video. I know it's a little different. We're just talking about what's going to be happening next in the division, but definitely stick around, because I got a pretty big video, guys, planned for you this weekend. If you like FIFA, if you like football, if you like soccer, definitely want to stay around for that. But take care, guys. Next week, I think we're going to get a little tier list together for Division 2 exotics and maybe some Division 1 ones. So take care.